and I thank you all for listening also. I have just a few minutes, and what I have to share with us is a project, a movement that is going on in Nigeria now. Finally, the government of Nigeria has caught up, with that movement, or let me say the situation in the country has forced them to recognize that this movement is necessary for the development of this country. Now, before I go into what I have to talk about, I want to ask 2 or 3 questions. The first question is, whatever you are using now, say your phone, your clothes, your jewelry, did it just drop from the sky or did you just pick it up somewhere? Can I get quick answers, please? Sorry, speak up. What happened? Say again?
They are being produced.
Yeah, they're being produced. Somebody created it. Okay? Now, I've answered the second question, but is it aliens that created it? It's human beings like you and I. Then my third question is this. Why do you think the developed nations are called developed? What is 1 or 2 of the reasons why they're called developed? Is it because they're always productive? You see them coming up with different products every day to better the society. Can you now answer why is that not happening here in Nigeria or in Africa? Let me not stigmatize Nigeria. In Africa, why is this kind of development not happening as it should be? Can anybody just give me a quick answer? Yes, please.
Because we're actually dependent on other countries.
We're dependent on other countries. We're always importing. But that doesn't stop us from creating, from producing, does it? So what is really stopping us? If we have the money, the funds to buy 90% of what we use in this country is imported, what is really stopping us? We're young people here. Have you had ideas that you think, this would be a good idea? The potential to produce. How do you mean?
Their personal potential.
Okay, they don't believe they're not confident enough in themselves. Okay, well, that is a reason, that is one of the reasons. But let me tell you that also in the US, in European countries, there are people who don't feel that they can produce as well. But some of them still go ahead. Okay, now this movement that I'm talking about has been in existence since 2013. I mentioned it at the Divine Treasures Fellowship meeting in 2014, that I have it in my heart to start an entrepreneurial center. And I thank God last year that dream became true. Okay, so, but what we're doing is not just an entrepreneurial center. We don't want to say, if you have a business idea, we want to change the consumer culture of Nigeria and Africa. Almost everything we use in this country now is imported. We want to get our youth, everybody in this room is in youth. We want to get our youth to start thinking and using their brains to invent products that we can use here locally, we can use in the African region, and also sell to the international community. The Segway board that came out some months ago, a lot of Nigerians are buying it. This Segway board goes for between $900 upwards. But we're buying it with all enthusiasm. You understand? So we need to create things. It's not just by starting businesses. You know now that to start a business is harder than it was even last year. Talk less of 2-3 years ago. We know that to get a job is not easy anymore. So how are we going to live? How are we going to survive? If we don't start using our creative ability that God has given us, and everybody has it, be you a Chinese, be you an American, be you a Nigerian, be you a Kenyan, be you a Somalia person, everybody has that innate ability to be creative. So this is what Unconformed Misfits Entrepreneurial Center is about. Unconformed because we don't want to conform to the stereotype of the African that the international community sees us. When you go out and you say you're a Nigerian, the way they see you immediately is like, you are not on par with your European brothers, even of the same age. Right now, if you go for a job, if you go apply for a job abroad, they will tell you to still take some exams because they know or they have seen that our developmental level here is not as high as theirs. But if we don't do anything about it here, nobody will help us. Right now, the big companies are international companies. The ShopRites, the Shells, the Mobiles. None of them are made by Nigerians. They might have Nigerians in their board, but none of them are really created by Nigerians. These foreign people are coming in. So last year, we started the Unconformed Misfits Entrepreneurial Center. We don't want to conform anymore to that stigma of the African, and we're going to be misfits because this is a movement that is not really strong yet in Africa. So right now, the members of this center are misfits. We're not conforming to what people say that we are in Africa. Now, before I go on, what this center is about is that we encourage youth to think up ideas. There's so many problems in the society, not only in Nigeria. Nowadays, thank God to for the internet, you can do cross-border selling. Think up ideas in Africa, think up ideas to the problems in your locality, even in your village. What problems are going on there? Be it electricity, be it road, be it materials, be it logistics, be it technology, any kind of idea that you can think of. 2 months ago, we sent out a broadcast to the West African region. We got applications from Togo, from Gambia, from Zimbabwe, from Ghana, from Nigeria. People who have ideas, they sent these ideas in. The next process is that we will now broadcast these ideas to the masses, and the masses will pick which ideas they think is viable, that will be beneficial to them. After this, when we collate all these ideas that are chosen, the in-house team of Unconformed Misfits Entrepreneurial Center, we now choose the ideas to produce. Now, these ideas will be based on feasibility, market feasibility, ease of production, and the cost of production. All this while, the owners of the ideas are not paying anything for us to do this. When we have done this, we will now invite the owners of those ideas to the center, where we will produce prototypes of these ideas they have submitted. And if they wish, if we see that these ideas can be scalable to businesses, we also, we also bring up a 5-year business plan for them. And then do a prototype of this idea, this invention, put it in the market, run pilot projects on it. If it's viable, we go into production. All this while, the inventors, the owners of the ideas, are not going to pay a dime. If they have to stay in Lagos, if they're not from Nigeria, we have a center where they can stay. They can pay minimal amount for that accommodation. Now, while they're here, for the 2 months they will be here, we'll train them in business startup, business development, business management, in marketing, in human resource, everything in bookkeeping, accounting, everything that they need to develop a business. And then we'll also give them a seed fund to start that business while we're still producing their prototype. And then we'll also put out this end product into the market to sell. It is from the profit of the sales the owner of the businesses and these inventors will now contribute to the center for the next batch of inventors that are coming in. You know that they didn't pay anything up to this point, apart from their accommodation. When their products are in the market and they're selling, from each product, whatever profit, a percentage of the profit will now go back to the center to help other inventors come in. So if you have a biro and paper, I'll give you the email address. It is umecenterng@gmail.com. There are 2 email addresses. This email address is the admin address where you can send your inventions to. If your invention is chosen, we'll now give you the proper center email address. Right now, it is UME Center africanng@gmail.com. So if you have any friends, or even your enemies, this is about African development, this is about development of the country, this is about changing the culture of a generation, or even generations to come. So it's UME Centerng@gmail.com. You can contact us there if you need clarification, if you need us to speak anywhere to a youth group. Anybody between the ages of 15 and 50 can apply. The application is going to close very soon, so as you know, the sooner you can get in your ideas, the better. Now, of course, agreements will be signed. We also advise all inventors to please get a lawyer to sign your idea, because you might find two people, submitting similar ideas, and then if you pick one and don't choose the other, the person that is not picked to say somebody stole his or her idea. So please, it is not expensive. Get a lawyer to verify that this idea was written by you, and then you scan that idea and send it with us to that email address, and then we can now differentiate. Any idea that doesn't come in notarized, it's called notarizing your idea. Any idea that doesn't come in with a lawyer's sign off will not be processed. So that is the short form of it. If you need further explanation, please send an email to that email address, and you can also speak with me here as we're going. Then another thing is this: apart from you submitting your ideas, please help us spread, I will say, this gospel, this movement. It's not for just your betterment, it's for betterment of Nigeria. Now the Nigerian government is saying, buy African made, buy Nigerian made. This is what I've been saying for 2-3 years now. Let's start producing our own things so that we can keep our own money here. We can grow the value of our own naira. And even in other African regions, any community that does not grow, does not develop, does not produce, will become the slave to other countries. So please help us spread the word on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, on your clubs, your association, your club association, everywhere that you can speak. And if you can get anywhere for us to come and speak as well and encourage people, we would really appreciate that. So thank you very, very much, and God bless you.